Okay, I'm gonna bring the Grand County School District Board of Education regular board meeting to order. We're recording too, like on here. Okay. It is Wednesday, May 27th, 2026. It is 3:36 p.m. We are here at the district office and available via Zoom and on YouTube. All board members are present. Superintendent Tighe and Business Administrator Hamilton are here. That's Preston. Right. If you are here to speak to the board during public comment, please fill out a public comment card that is located. They're located on the back wall there. And we are going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. But our seniors present want to lead us in the. Are there three of you? I think there's three. Pledge.
I pledge to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Well, Kathy, would you like to read the mission statement?
Our mission is to put each student first every day.
Right, and then we do now have a new law that makes us make an announcement that the tentative budget of fiscal year 26-27 includes a proposed property tax rate increase. All right, first on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second? Kathy Williams makes a motion, Laura Lee Green second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 5-0. All right, budget officer statement.
So because the 26-27 tentative budget includes a proposed property tax increase, I am required to read a statement. Grand County School District Board of Education is formally notifying the public that the tentative fiscal year 26-27 proposed budget and all budget discussions do include a proposed tax rate increase.
Okay. Next is the budget officer property impact statement.
So I have a property impact statement here for all of those that we had it at the last meeting. I have copies here for each one that may want one. Just raise your hand. Yeah. Went through the detail last time. If you have questions, as you went over it, please feel free to.
You have to say anything
I-
besides that?
I don't think so, as long as the shade, we could make sure that it's up on the screen real quick. And I just in case.
Yeah.
I bet I just said.
Yeah.
So the law is like new change, so just to cover every basis of how this is gonna work. Thanks, because I can't read that small. So this is the proposed impact statement. This first part is just, talks about, I'll just do it. Grand County School District Board of Education is considering a tax rate that exceeds the certified tax rate. The following information is intended to provide the public with a schedule of the school district's explanation of the proposed property tax rate increase. So the school district has basically three levies that we get to control on what the state sets the limits, but we can change those. So the board is considering increasing the capital levy this next fiscal year from 0.001344 to 0.001469, for an increase in capital revenue of $474,000. The purpose of increasing the capital revenue is to increase our capital fund. The last two remodel projects, we were fortunate enough to do with cash without taking on new debt for the school district. This will continue to bring that capital fund back up so that as we move forward into the future, the goal of the board is to pay for most of our capital projects moving forward with cash, and this without seeking new debt, and this would allow that to continue to go. So what this means to the average person, the estimated increase to a primary residence, it's the taxable value, not your assessed value, okay? So the taxable value, the average taxable value on a primary residence in Grand County is $260,947. So basically you would see a potential increase on your property taxes of an additional $31.96. On the business side, the average taxable valuation is $1,450,017. If this levy is approved by the board and passed, you would see a proposed potentially increase on your business property taxes of $181.26. So the purpose of the capital fund increased levy is for construction services. Grand County School District Facilities Committee will review the capital master plan, aka the 10-year plan, update the plan by priorities, and set any anticipated project timeline with estimated dates. So, and then at the bottom there, that just goes over again, the increase in revenues. The second page is just covering all my TNT bases for the new law. These are the additional levies that the school district uses for sources of revenue. The basic levy is set by the state. The voted levy, the board levy, those are the two that the board can choose to increase or decrease. Well, increase. So there are no changes on those two levies moving into fiscal year 27. And the debt levy, we are only allowed by law to collect enough funds to cover our debt service. So that one naturally decreases over time. That one naturally goes down as we pay off as the bond gets paid off. So Grand County School District Board of Education does not anticipate an increase in the voted board or debt levies. The basic levy is set by the state. And so it has a decrease this fiscal year of 0.000027. The debt levy will be slightly less. Next year, which means fiscal year 27, just based off of loan debt, the bond payments that we're making. So, no questions, please feel free to ask me.
So will we have a little bit of an offset with the decrease in the debt levy?
You will have a little bit of an offset with the decrease in the debt levy. So it would actually kind of net property taxes. It says $31.96 on the front page, but with the debt levy decreasing, it's actually only kind of a realized increase on your property taxes of $10 less because of the reduction of the debt service. And for the business is the same because it's realized today about $126. Had all this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jared. All right, next is public comment. Comments, any? Any more public comment? Student body president report. He didn't want to make his last hurrah. Is he here?
Same.
All right, Jeffrey is not here. Okay, board recognitions. Let's start with Student of the month. Let's do it, yeah, great. All right. I'm gonna start with kindergarten, so we three. You come up here with me, Rosie? All right, so instead of Zoe has continuously been such an amazing leader and an overall wonderful student in my class. She is kind, hardworking, and sets a great example for her classmates. She is loving and such a good friend. We love having her. You can just stay, when you stand right up there. Thank you. All right. Okay, Cypress Van Arso is our first grade. Cypress is our overall student of the month. She is smart, caring, and incredibly sweet. Always showing kindness to others, Cypress has a great sense of humor that brings smiles to her passion, even though she can be a little shy at times. She consistently sets a positive example by following school and classroom rules and doing her best every day. We are so proud of Cypress and the thoughtful, respectful attitude she brings to our school and community. We get the Cypress. Viviana is the student of the month for second grade. She's such a sweet girl we have in class. She's very hard worker who is always doing her best. She's extremely kind to everyone and she is happy to be at school every day. She's very grateful to have Viviana in class this year. Bryce is an incredibly hard worker. She tries her best to understand and learn new things. She's willing to ask questions, to pick up her understanding and learning. She also tries her best to include other students and appreciate their strengths and differences both in class and at recess. And Jaden is for fourth grade. So the student of the month in the Spanish class is Jaden. The rules in the classroom are be kind, work hard, and take responsibility. Jaden knocks all three of those out of the ballpark. He's a great kid. We're lucky to have him in our class. Jojo is the student of the month for fifth grade for Mr. Josh's class. She demonstrates being safe, respectful, and responsible all day, every day. Jojo works hard, takes initiative and ownership for her learning, and is amazing as an amazingly kind friend. Her classroom is so lucky to have her. And then, okay. Sophia is the sixth grade one. I'd like to nominate Sophia as the sixth grade student of the month. She is kind and a leader among her peers. Her academic journey is driven by her curiosity and intelligence. Sophia is very conscientious and takes pride in quality of her work. What truly sets her apart is her unfailing kindness to her peers. She offers support academically and emotionally to everyone in her class. I know that Sophia's creativity and hard work will continue to shine through at middle school and beyond. Thanks for being a great role model, Sophia. Congratulations. Thank you. Miss Barnard. Oh. There you go. I don't think we need to.
So none of my students are here, but Abby Bertha and Bethany Blackson, both our student of the month, and they're awesome students.
It's just Taylor. Okay, there.
Okay, Natalie.
Preston.
Okay, well, Natalie Lynn and Preston Packard are the two high school students of the month, and they are also amazing students, but they are not here. So, good job, Preston and Steph. Thank you.
All right, next would be our state golf champion. Your coach isn't here, but if you wanna, say some words.
Your rant. Tell us about the end of the last rant.
Some advice. Well, it's really hard, so I don't, it's hard, but it's fun sometimes. It was really stressful
because I was doing so good and then I took a turn and then I came back up. It's kind of like a roller coaster. But it was really fun this year.
What was your score?
82,
And what was par for the close?
72.
Good.
Yeah.
And you beat the second place by 3, right?
Yeah.
By
Three.
You stroked, so. And then
Very
the team, and the team took second.
Yep. She said second.
Because, yeah, you did a great job.
Okay. Yeah.
Good job. All right, Jacob. You're here to recognize the state track winners.
So, we had 6 different kids, take state this year on different events. So the first one we'll call up is the girls 4x1, team. So that team consisted of Katie Metter, Hannah Burgess, Taylor Hageman, and Olivia Jackson. Yeah, these 4 ladies, they ran, 50.14 seconds for a 4x1. Which did set a new school record as well in the making, so that was really exciting. So we had 2 seniors and 2 freshmen on the team, which is really awesome. So this is our 4x1 state championship. Our medley state championship team consists Katie, or you can stay here. Consisted of Olivia, Hannah, Kayla, and Elliot. For medley, for you that don't know, it's kind of a mixture of distance and sprints. So, Hayla did the first 200, Hannah did the second 200, Olivia did a 400, and then Elliot did an 800.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they won that as well, which was super exciting. The one that's not here is Van. Van won state in the discus. That's his 3rd straight year winning state discus, which is exciting. He had a kid that towards the end of the year started really like throwing well and Van got a little nervous that he was not going to necessarily win this year, but he ended up, the way state works is you have 3 throws in prelims, then they take the top 9 and those go to finals. They'll take any of your best throws. And 5 of his 6 throws would have won state. So super consistent throwing at state, which was awesome. So that was those are the 6 state champions, and then the girls team took 2nd overall.
Yeah.
So, doubles.
Is Dan a senior?
Van's a senior, so.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
We have 2 more certificates. Oh, my bad. Never mind.
That's why they removed.
Oh. Then you guys are up there. Okay, you can speak up. Yeah, right. I was about to give it that. So, I was like, they're here. Well, Candace might be hurt. Yeah. I find it. So.
I just do. I don't even know what you're talking about. No. I mean,
It's students that have achieved 4.0 in their career, all 4 years.
And
No, I've never, Matt must.
It's the superintendent scholarship award or something like that, scholar award.
and he's got your tell him all about it after the meeting.
Great. Okay, we'll move to the information and discussion items. We have the fiscal year 27 preliminary budget.
Okay. So let's talk budget.
If you want this.
So this is the, can we make it a little bit bigger?
Do you want to run it? Yes.
We didn't see your daughter.
Is she here? Is she here?
Yeah.
Or is she the daughter here? Does she want her certificate?
You want, oh, because your daughter not here.
You know, yeah.
Oh. You can- you can find you.
He's okay if I'm.
Sounded like this.
You got it.
Oh, I gave,
Love it.
Tomorrow's the last day of school.
oh, you gave it to Holly?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so this is the preliminary fiscal year 27 budget. Format is the same as we've all seen in the past. I get to drive today. Maybe. Oh. Okay, so the first page here is a summary of the general fund. So we're gonna come back to this page when I wrap it all up, okay? We'll go through them fund by fund, and then we'll come back to that page. So this first section here is the general fund, Fund 10. These are the revenue sources for the general fund. The top is the local sources, that's the levies. There's a little bit of money in donations and investments. So we're gonna be looking, sorry, just for conversation's sake, we're gonna be looking at the far pink, or the far right column, the light pink one. Make that a little bigger. And so, local revenues, those are estimates based off of, anticipated collections and from this year's actual collections. All right, so kind of in local revenue sources, we're looking at about $16.5 million in between mostly levy collections, rather that's state or local levies. So board, feel free to ask me questions as we go through, okay? But there's something that you see. So the next one is the state sources. This top part is what's considered above the line funding sources. So this is kind of above the line. This is the state guaranteed funding. Two big things to note there. I don't really have a pointer, but I don't know where it went. Anyway, the two big things that stood out to me when I was creating the budget was one, the preschool. So if you look about halfway down there, it says preschool 123,648,000. That's a significant decrease from this current fiscal year. The other one that jumps out at you is right below it is special education. That is 1.3 million. That's a significant increase next year of over $200,000. So those are monies from the state legislature. Those are kind of the two that jump out when you look at the above the line funding. When you move below the line funding, not a lot has changed. Got a few ups and a few downs, but the biggest one that you're gonna notice, hold on, I'm driving the wrong way. Right there where it says $73,340,000, that's the digital teaching and learning grant. That is completely gone away this next fiscal year. So there's a few other columns in there missing. We'll get some of those during mid-year budget revisions when the state has kind of a better idea of the actual legislative funding that's coming. So you're looking at total state revenues of about $10.5 million. That is down from our mid-year budget revisions, but again, some of those things haven't been funded yet that will be funded come mid-year, some individual programs, okay?
So you expect the digital or?
No, that's totally unfunded, out the door, not happening at all. The ones that you'll see in there are like Beverly Taylor Sorensen, kind of some of those that they'll get us our estimates.
What about library books?
Library books, those are not typically funded. I mean, they're in there, but that's typically with special grants that we'll see.
Teen Center, was that like a one-time thing?
2 years ago, but
Okay.
we
And that-
finished spending it last year.
And it came from the state.
It came from the state and it was expended as of June 30th last year, fiscal year 25.
What was it expended on?
The teen center staff,
SCSC or?
SCSC,
Okay.
it's the SCSC. The state called it the teen center grant, but it's actually the SCSC.
Okay.
Or SCSC. Next is your federal sources. So these, when I creating the federal source budgets, I decreased all of them. Past practice moving forward into this year by 3%. Kind of the recommendation from the state. We don't receive our federal even preliminary allocation numbers until November usually, right, Jill? And then final allocations in February or March. So, I decreased all of the federal funds, which is gonna be your title programs, the TANF grants, any of those, well, all of these are federal. So, unless I've gotten word from the state of what they're going to be, I've decreased all of them by 3%. So we're looking at total revenues of $28.2 million right now. Preliminary, remember, these are estimates, okay? So cruising down to the next section
Well, I
is,
have a question.
huh?
I think I asked this before,
That's
so if I did, I forgot to answer. With Beacon and mentoring, is there a reason they are together? Because I mean, I know the grant is,
It's
like one
separate on my books, but
Right.
they are
So
together
we can
here
see it.
because under federal funding, they're both under that same
you can't
category.
break them apart, just to see that. Okay,
You can, if you want to come see me, no problem.
okay, it's not needed.
But,
Okay.
for budgetary purposes, they're all just in their general categories. But I'm happy to show you. So cruising down through the general fund expenditures, again, staff is the largest cost of the district. So the instructional, staff is here on the top. You've got the salaries and then the benefits. Then we kind of move down into more of the instructional services. No big surprises here, except that when you cruise down in the peak side and it says, software and technology supplies, 650 to 750, and then general supplies on top of 600. See the 600 that says supplies? What and how it's decreased so much? Again, that's the DTL grant. There were a lot of individual grants that we could apply for through Utah grants that were for curriculum, software, STEM, bunch of different things like that that were outside of the revenues on the first page. Those are no longer available. They were all under that.
In the
DTL.
1,000s?
In the no, down further. So if you go down to the total, so down. Sorry.
No, we're in the 1,000 still. Okay, 1,000.
This is all part of the instruction.
Yeah,
So, yep, yeah,
1,700.
yes, yes. And no, 600 and then the 650 to 650 to 670.
Oh, okay.
So all of those, the biggest chunk of the decrease there is again, the digital teaching and learning grant is, and there were a lot of individual grants tied to that, that, Jill applied for that are no longer available.
So, with looking at last year's budget and this year, just looking at salaries in the 131?
Yep.
It's gone down.
They decreased a little bit. One, we absorbed one staff member,
Okay.
and the newer staff members are coming in are budgeted at less because we're losing.
Do we know that for sure? Or we're just
Yeah,
budgeting?
I budgeted them, well, I know that for all of the hires except for the one at the high school.
Okay.
Because when I created the budget, I had their letters.
Is the staff member reabsorbed or
At HMK.
HMK? Okay, thank you.
So, yep, I budgeted those based off of where they fell on the salary schedule.
And this is we're budgeting a 1% on this?
This reflects
This is
1%
the
and one
1%.
level.
Thank
Got it. Okay, so the next. I skipped over the whole bottom part, sorry. So then you go into the therapists and the support staff. Is this work? Nope. All right, so then we go into the therapists and the support staff.
I mean, you
Um,
can point with it. It's okay.
No changes. Just gotta get the right direction here. There we go. All right. So if you cruise down to the 2100s and the 2200s, that's the therapists, the counselors, the paras. So that's their staff costs.
There is an increase in health service personnel. Is that a budget of half anything?
The new counselor coming in and steps and increases for a couple of them that are here already.
Under health service personnel? One
Part
for-
of,
one
part
for-
of our, part of your therapist, part of their funding comes from there.
Out of that. Where? There. So could you say what you said before?
So so in the health services, part of, some of the therapist funding comes out of that.
And it includes, the new,
The
a new hire
The new hire.
that might
for
be
the middle
different
school.
benefits or different.
It includes the new hire at the middle school.
And what are the paras there at student services? What's a para position?
The paraprofessionals under student services.
Mhm.
I'd have to go look up and see who's under that category, but that would be probably your, I would say your special education parents would fall under student services.
Okay. Like one or something?
No, they're,
One or two?
yeah,
Not that much.
depends on the program that they're paid out of.
So you're just kind of moving.
Yeah, these
What-
are all, like, I have a huge spreadsheet and then it sorts them into this, so that just depends on which program they're paid out of.
Is that similar to then with the secretarial personnel, then they're kind of divvied out
By campus,
by one position, but we're gonna pay you out of
3 or 4 different
Student.
funds,
Graded distribution,
yes,
graded.
graded,
Graded distribution?
braided.
Braided,
braided.
BRAID.
Like you braid your hair. Yeah. I don't have to.
Okay, I like it. I haven't ever heard that.
And then staff services, again, this is paras. Support staff. This would include your exploratory teachers.
The salaries and stipends, looks like a bit of a drop.
Part of that is, we have some para positions open that I have just held of the budgetary number at the lowest level because I don't know what they're gonna come in on, and there's quite a few that are open that haven't been filled, so I hold them at the entry level, but if they come in with
Yeah.
more education or experience, then they'll definitely be a higher salary. But it's hard for me to guess on that, so we just budget them at the entry level.
Would staff services include the IT or no?
No, that's gonna be under the district administration, because that's general district. And business.
What is, can I ask you, what is interest dues and fees, like,
That's for like the high school clubs, like your CTE clubs, when they pay their, help me.
CTSO.
the CTSOs, all of the different organizations that they belong to.
so we don't have that budget.
It's in the CTE budget. Because of the way that student fees laws have changed, we're not allowed to collect some of those anymore, so we no longer. They can collect them at the high school level, but we're not allowed like to collect like a technology fee or things like that anymore. So those will be on the funds for the schools. At least under that section. So then cruising down, you'll get into the next page of your expenditures is district administration, school administration, business services. No big surprises here. Everything's just we didn't really have anything that jumped out at me, but you are welcome to look at it. I'll probably draw your attention down there under operations and maintenance of facilities. Again, staffing being the largest cost, but we did put extra money in other purchased services. Again, thinking of the high school and some potential upgrades as we're replacing floors, doing some painting, carpet replacement, all of that moving into next year.
What would other purchase services
Yep.
under district admin, what were those kinds of things? I'm just curious.
It's our technology stuff under the technology contracts. If we hire like general maintenance to come in and take care of, Frank hires people to come in and take care of like
Whatever we
it's the elevator contracts, it's the HVAC.
Okay.
Programming, and then cruising down student transportations, nothing, no, the biggest thing, I mean, I added more money to motor fuel, just because fuel costs are going up, but other than that, not a huge change in
Is that a separate,
student transportation. Motor fuel for transportation is a separate line item. It's the 626.
Oh, yeah.
And then cruising to the next page.
So
this is
under business services, it did drop by
Yes,
that.
for a variety of reasons. One, Pat no longer on contract. Two, business administrator position.
Just like the shuffling of
Shuffling staff,
the past years, kind of moving
moving
People around.
moving people around
to the right, to their final.
to our right seat on the bus,
destination. Final destination.
to our right seats on the
Job
bus.
descriptions.
And then the last one there, this is this again, the last page of your expenditures. This is the Beacon and mentoring program. Their budgets are set. They give me their budgets, or their budgets are dictated by how they completed their grant. So this is the budgets for those two programs. So you're looking at expenditures of just a little under $27 million, anticipated, at this point in time. When I get to the summary, we can discuss that a little bit further. So this is the student activity fund, when you talked about the dues and the fees and all that, this is where it will be. These are the accounts at the school. Schools have their own checking accounts. This is their accounting systems. Pulled their reports, inputted it into the district's accounting system. It's trending and consistent with what it has been in the past. There's nothing there that was alarming or surprising to myself. And then the next one, Fund 26, this is just the pass-through charter from the state. It's the number that the state, we don't see that, it's passed through directly through the county treasurer's office, but we are the local taxing entity.
That's the impact on our local residents, what they pay
For the
for the charters.
Yep.
The charters, the state. It
The
goes to
state charter, big.
It doesn't necessarily always
Doesn't
go to
come back.
locally.
Nope.
Even to our local charter.
It just goes into the big charter box.
Charter.
And then however they,
Yeah.
whatever formula they use to distribute this. So the next one is the debt service. Couple of things you'll notice on the debt service to draw your attention to. One, total revenues that we're anticipating collecting next year through the debt levy is almost $1.9 million. Debt payment is 2.6 million. So you'll see that we have an excess and we have a deficiency of 662,000. We have a fund balance in the debt service. The debt service, we have payments for this year and payments for next year, and then this debt goes away. It will be paid off. So the goal is to use a little less than half this year, and then the same next year. So if you cruise down there to the bottom, you'll see that we'll have anticipated fund balance with the debt service of about 855,000. We will again use, we won't collect the maximum levy to make the payment because we have a fund balance to make up for part of that. So
But the state decides
the
that.
state I had to email Matthew Hurst and tell him we wanted to use some of our
Fund balance.
fund balance. For that purpose. And then so next year when we get here, that fund balance should be closer to be zeroed out. Because the debt will be gone. And then cruising to.
Do they ever show? We don't ever see balances of
I have,
debt though.
I have a spreadsheet of them if you want to.
Yeah, will you email that it's the balance?
It's just, yeah, it's broken out into this. That's how I create this.
Yeah.
And I have to email them, I had to email them to the state tax commission so that they can set up the debt levy.
Okay.
So, they get a copy of them too. So the next one is the capital, fund. The only, what I want to draw your attention to on that, in that pink column is the green, where it says capital outlay levy TNT. So that's the increased anticipated revenues. If you were to increase the capital levy, that's the anticipated revenues that we would receive. I pulled them out of the normal capital levy. So you can see if you didn't increase it, you'd expect about 5.1 million in capital levies. You do increase the capital levy, you'd be closer to 5.5.
I like that format, thank you.
So
Yeah, that's
highlighted in green.
yeah, well, and pulled out
Yeah, and
too.
pulled out, so you can see that.
Yeah.
So, so that is kind of the revenues from the capital levy. Cruising down expenditures, the capital outlay, there is under construction services there, that is the finishing up of the preschool, whatever might be residual moving into next fiscal year. The HMK Plaza, that also includes the transportation barn, redoing the pavement, and repacking it, filling in all of that. So that is, all of those numbers are included in there.
Is that being done this summer? Do you know?
He's gonna try to have it done in July.
And no bus?
No, it does have a school bus of 180, and that will
Oh,
be
that's
delivered
the-
in July also. So hopefully, we're back on track with school buses now, everything post-COVID and manufacturers are all back on schedule.
Construction services are the projects, the construction, just in a big lump.
So so the preschool, it's the blacktop at the bus
In the
barn.
HMK Plaza. And then there's the architectural fees and kind of some of those ongoing maintenance of the facilities management and plan. And then there's the debt service associated with the capital bonds, which is the bonds that we basically refinanced, refunded last fall. And so you're looking at ending the capital fund balance of about just shy of $3 million, which, to be honest, when we started the TNT capital campaign last year, the goal was to have about 3 million in ongoing funding to the capital fund. That's right on track to do this, to continue that trend. So
Where does it say capital fund balance?
the very bottom.
Bottom.
Oh, you're on the wrong. Are you?
Oh,
Yeah.
So anyway, that was the goal, and it was kind of nice just to see the numbers line up. Oh, to be honest. Next, you're moving into the child nutrition program. They also get local, state, and federal sources. You'll see a slight decline in the federal sources for the child nutrition program, just links to enrollment. So their revenues are down slightly. Anticipated next year is kind of what based off of this year. Anticipating a smaller, less students next year, and adjusted a couple of the numbers. State liquor tax for us stays about the same annually, year to year, so that's no adjustments were made there. Moving into the expenditure side. Again, staffing is about half of it. But I did increase, you'll see there under food, I know food costs are going up, but I didn't increase it tremendously because the nutrition director has taken some huge steps in inventory management, consistency in brands and products across all of the kitchens, with the new software that we have, so that we have a better,
More efficient.
more efficient use of our food, quicker turnover, less inventory, all of those things. Yep.
This may not be relevant, but are lunches happening this summer?
Yes and no,
Yeah.
but we can talk
Okay.
about that after the budget
Okay.
discussion. The other thing you'll see in there is I increased, it says purchased services. Line 400, purchased property services. Through, that has a larger budget, strictly the high school kitchen, every time, their goal is to use their ovens there next year, which they're working and operational, so that when they make the pizzas and stuff, we're not transporting them from HMK up to the high school. Every time Frank touches something in the kitchen, it breaks, so that's just extra money for repairs.
So that's high school kitchen
Kitchen.
repair, not operation.
And we're not buying new, well, I
We're
guess
not-
we are buying new things if they break.
Well, he's been able to fix them, so it's the parts and, or hiring somebody local, like the HVAC guys to come in and.
Yeah.
fix it.
Is our equipment really old? I mean, is it old? Is it,
Um,
do we need to replace in the future? I think
We've placed them in the past. I think the biggest thing with the high school equipment, it just hasn't been used for 3 years. So, that's probably the bigger issue there. So you'll see for the nutrition, looking at transferring in about $750,000 from the general fund to cover the deficit in the nutrition program. Honestly, this year we'll transfer in about 600,000. That jump to 750 is a fully operational high school kitchen. Staff, and they have one full-time, one part-time staff there. They're feeding on average 95 to 100 kids a day. There are some days that in the winter it was a little higher, spring it's been a little lower. But that is, the jump in the difference there is mainly attributable to opening the high school kitchen. So now,
And our sales to pupils are
sales to
down.
pupils are down. Although we have, I know, done a really good job on the collection campaign and got a lot more in.
Where's that? Is that on
That's
there?
not on there. This is next year's budget.
Now, did we end up doing something where the kids graduate, like they have to pay?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Budget.
Perfect.
All right, let me just quickly back up to the summary page. So if you get back up to the summary page, on top is the 3 revenue sources, the state, the local, and the federal. It'd be page 2 of this. There we go. Okay, so looking at anticipated revenues of about $28.2 million. Anticipated expenditures just shy of 27 million. With the fund balance transfer, let me scroll up a little more. So you're looking at the other direction. There you go, keep going. So I'm looking at about $650,000 in excess funding. Increasing the unassigned fund balance next year by about that much. I will say a couple of things. There are a couple of pieces of legislation that I'm not quite sure what that may cost the district right now. How those will be funded, or what the program expectations and requirements are going to be. So we'll get those at mid-year updates. So looking at scroll right there, kind of anticipated best guess with some preliminary numbers, having a fund balance of next year of about $17.6 million. Again, I'll be cautious. I think there are some anticipated expenditures that are coming that I just don't know how they're gonna affect again. I won't know that till November.
And that would be, so that 652 of excess revenue, you think could easily be spent by some of these expenditures.
Some of it,
limits.
at least $200,000 to $300,000 of it for sure. But again, I have to, I don't know.
I have a comment and then a question. Just going back, so local sources are picking up 400,000, but state revenue is dropping 400,000. Like, that's where we're kind of flip
You're kind
flopping
of
now.
flip flopping.
That's just true.
Yeah, I just wanted to, like, just because the
Yeah.
state might be presenting, funding, it's not coming into our district. I mean, we're not seeing
We're
it.
not seeing that, yeah, we're not seeing that.
The second question is, how much is a percent on the salary schedule?
Hold on.
You said that last,
So the percent cost, you want just the
just
salary part,
1%.
or do you want the salary and the benefits?
Both.
Both,
Yeah.
1% is gonna be about $210,000.
Okay.
Can
And
I
then
ask a question? Is that everyone's salary?
just a minute,
I'm sorry.
and then the benefits is included that?
Yes, that includes the benefits,
And that's on but that's on the whole
Everything.
districts.
the entire salary.
So- Okay.
And that, but the budget reflects 1% and one level.
And the cost of
All of-
insurance
yeah,
benefits.
all of those.
So increased.
So this is just preliminary, kind of a quick look at. You feel free to look at it over the week and come with questions. I'm happy to dive
And-
deeper.
I mean, so doing this so many years, I've also seen, you can throw out your best preliminary numbers. And then literally walking into the night of approval, it's changed, there's changes. Because we don't get the numbers.
So you get to see it 3 more times. And hopefully that third time. So each
Well,
time
because I don't
we'll
think-
have a better idea.
Be set by the tax commission until like June 10th through the 12th. And so, that's the levy portion, and that's the largest, that's the revenues, and so they won't get their numbers to us. I will be lucky if it's June 12th, and then this has to be published and out for comment by the 14th. Right.
They don't give us much time to really look at a final.
No,
Well,
that
and that's why we're bringing you.
preliminary,
Our
so you can
best-
look at it.
Yeah.
My best estimates based off of past performance and kind of anticipated collections, and the state, the above and the below, those are the legislative estimates that we've received from the Utah State Board of Education, so we believe them. June 24th.
You here?
The last Wednesday in June.
What is that? June 10th, $210,000. That's every.
No, that's.
That is a what?
Just
1%.
And, okay,
What is
That would be an additional 1%. Like, I'm just asking if you were just to look at percent.
Right. the total's up.
Yeah, each percent would be that plus.
So and if you have time to look at it and you wanna stuff in, I'll be creating two. Okay.
I think one of the things that I'll request is, similar, I've seen it in the past, but it's kind of what Dave was asking, but it's like that tax rate, breakdown, but the bottom line tax rate, you know what I mean? So that it shows that
We'll have to create that separate in that document.
that'd be fine, but something that just shows that.
And I can print those off. Once the state sets the rates and I go in and put them in
Yeah.
to see what our numbers are, I'll just print that. That's on the certified tax rates.
So that we know, yeah,
The
which-
actual, you want to know the actual dollar.
the bottom, not the dollar,
Not the dollar.
well,
The
but
bottom
the
average.
bottom that our tax rate
Certified
will
tax
be,
rate.
because there's
All the different.
there's,
The net.
Like
The net.
individual. Yeah. So once they release those, I can get that.
Are you talking, Melissa, are you talking about what individuals will be paying on the taxes. Is that what
Not
you're
yet.
saying? That's not.
No,
Okay, this is more
I'm talking about
broader.
tax rate, so if we have a 1.5 blah, 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 and it always, there's always a bottom tax rate, a net tax rate that you would see, like, we're actually, some years we're not, even though we're asking for a truth in taxation, we're actually not increasing that net tax rate anything. So it's very, it's trying to be see it in a different way too, like the way that they math and the way that I might math different.
Okay. On the disclosures that you have to have.
Yeah, well, that to me is
aren't
confusing,
necessarily-
like, this isn't very,
Because Pat had figured it with the aggregate, but tax commission's not.
yeah.
Anyway, just preliminary.
But you
no-
could throw amounts into that spreadsheet of net. With your 350 and your 1.54. Okay. Any other questions on the budget? Again, if you have questions, you go keep going through it. We're gonna have a couple more readings of it, so it's always a work in progress. Thank you, Jerry, for working on that, and appreciate Pat coming in again and was
Not as long a date.
So is he just being clear on contract?
He is contract through June 30th already.
And then after that,
We don't have an after that right now. The slight panic button, but.
Okay. Next would be the teacher student success. Act plan.
And that's just up here, you guys had a chance to look at that during the work session. Nothing has changed, it's just our only action item tonight, so put it up there. And it's coming back later as an action item.
So okay,
No changes.
this goes back to my first, what I talked about though,
Yes.
is
We're just approving what the schools have directed.
the school is,
Principals, the school administrations have determined how they want to spend.
Shouldn't say.
with that. Staff and community reports. The preschool report,
This is our quarterly report, so it's in the presentation format.
okay. Are we doing that then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jill,
Me,
Still, I think.
sort of. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I'm all messed up. So, I thought it was. Oh, I know, right, I'm all messed up. Okay, go ahead. All right, highlights this year or this quarter, I was able to go up to the State Unified Track up at Hopper Hills and drive special ed students up to running their track meet. It was exhilarating. You should all come next year. They had Hopper Hills, if you've ever been there, it's a fairly new school, but they had a huge tunnel for us to walk through, play the Olympic music. They had their band out there, playing the Olympic music, and then the Madrigal sang the national anthem, and students were out there, like their students were out helping. So it was really fun to see all the kids from all the different districts. They were up there and we were all at the school, and it was chaos and fun all at the same time. So if you ever get that opportunity to go and see the Unified Track, I highly suggest attending. So. I've been working a lot we're doing post-transition plans for the upcoming school year. That's for kids who are on IEPs that are transitioning out of high school. And so we work with the state, and each year we have to call every one of the kids that graduated last year and find out what they're doing. So I do that every year, and we're working with the state. We're trying to increase our students in anything other than sitting on the couch playing video games. And so, because we do get dinged on our annual performance determination report. That's part of one of the things that they say, oh, your kids aren't doing anything. So the plan is like working with CTE and getting the kids into a pathway that's something that they're really more interested in, so that maybe they will pursue something outside. Also, we completed all of our transition meetings for the year where kids are transitioning from one school to the next school. So preschool to kindergarten, 6th grade to 7th grade, and then 8th grade to 9th grade. So that's a lot of meetings that we've been doing. I completed the OIE grant, which is the Office of Indian Education grant. Normally Jeremy had done that. And so that was a lot of work because I had to speak to Washington, DC several times to get my name changed, which was harder work than I thought it would be. So finally, I got it submitted on time. Our challenge is coming up. We have a special education in-person audit this next October. It's going to be a lot of work. I'm already, Judy and I are already working on it. They will be in person, they will pull files. It'll probably be 1 to 3 days. So that's gonna be a challenge. And we are almost done boxing up at the preschool. So we're ready to move when we get the go ahead. We're ready to move. If you have any boxes lying around, we could use a few more. Do you? Okay. We have some good because we still need a few more things. Anyway, the end of the year, few students moved away, but we ended up with 48 total count for the year. Our attendance rate was 96%. Our goal was 95%. Usually the little kids do come to school because parents like to get there.
Yeah.
So we met our goals. We're always, I had one today, an IEP today, an early intervention student coming in the fall. So, yeah, we're making our goals. So go ahead and swap the next one. We do what's called a PELI, and it's preschool education learning. I can't remember off the top of my head either. Anyway, we didn't have the beginning of the year. We have the middle of the year and the end of the year. And so you can see the different categories are listed up there, like language, composite, and you can see our growth. This is something very new for our students this year, and it just transfers right on with the kids for Acadians when they go on to the elementary. So you can see the growth. And where we, didn't know, this is new to us. So, what we can work on and where we need to grow, and you can kind of see by the colors. So,
when you say we, that means teaching strategies.
Yeah, I mean, we got a new curriculum this year, the Broad Street that we've been working on. It was new for our teachers.
Yeah.
They, it's new for anybody to implement a new curriculum, so they have.
Kids aren't going to know. I mean,
they don't know.
They wouldn't know what's new.
Don't have a clue, but so it's just diving deeper into things. And so even though our kids have done, there we go. Indicators, that's what it is. So yeah, it's new for us this year, but I expect that it will be growth, continuing growth. So when the students come, the thing is like at the beginning of the year, you don't have, like, we're constantly getting new students. So what you had at the beginning of the year might not be the same kids that were tested. I think there might be more of them because we're always adding kids who are on IEPs coming to school. So our enrollment is constantly changing. So your same kids at the beginning were not. There were a lot of the same, but they were added, so.
And these are these
These
are
are the-
both grades or both ages.
3 and 4.
So you don't separate them out, meaning like, I would think that the 3-year-old would be
It's
very red.
Very red. So yeah, think about, you got
Yeah.
your 3-year-olds and your 4-year-olds and, yeah, it's all good. Then you can go to the next. And this is your peak testing. So that's the preschool test they've been doing at the state level that's required. It's changing a little bit over the summer, so we'll see what happens. But this is the 26th year on the one side and 25 on the other side. And you can kind of see the difference between the entry and exit. Kindergarten has the KEEP, but the PEEP is their entry and exit profile.
Is this just for 4-year-olds?
Just the 4-year-olds. Just the 4-year-olds. PEEP is just 4-year-olds. So. And then this one is that comparison of the peak from the 25 six. So you can see our the 25 entry and exit compared to the 26 entry and exit. And we're increasing pretty close. Math, the kids are really good at math at this age. It's that one word corresponds to little objects, and so they're really good at math compared to the rest of the part.
And this is a different test than Pele. It's a totally different
Correct.
test.
Totally different test.
What about the drop in literacy on the X? At the from above.
So it's 52 and 55. So there's 52 at the entry, 55.
Looking at the peak testing in 2026, it converted. It was 59.
59.
59 and 51.
On the green and blue, so we have to go back.
Oh, go back. I'm like, I don't. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, right there.
So which one? Which one?
Literacy.
Is literacy. So at the beginning,
So it just went down.
it just went down, but and then just
Change, right?
things change. Your testing, like beginning of the year is very, very basic. The end is a lot bigger. So yeah, and
So it's not the same test.
same test starts out.
But you test some more stuff,
But you
right? Like
test more
learn
stuff,
things,
but-
like more letters.
Yeah,
and
there it gets deeper.
Wow.
It's just deeper. So, instead of just going, oh, the or A, B, you would go is that letter? Uppercase, lowercase. So it gets a little harder. Same things. Good days and bad days too. Right?
And is it a different curriculum between these 2 years? So you've got
No.
25 and
Yes, it is a
so
different curriculum.
broad, this broad curriculum?
It's a different curriculum, yes. The 25 year, we did not do Broad Street. 26 year, we did.
And Broad Street is math and literacy.
Right there. Basically the same staff we did. We're losing our special ed teacher at the preschool. She resigned last week. And we also have a para opening. One of our parents is maybe out of state. So basically the same staff, full district wide for special ed. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and. Okay. Yeah, our goals have been, introduce our new programs and keep sticking with it and they're doing good. The good people. Really. Well, for those that came to our preschool graduation, it was so cute. is the last one at our preschool. We're just about done packing. I went to the Native American night. It was amazing. Since I wrote the grant and I've been working with Ricky the Gay, he invited me to this and said, you need to come. And so I did. And I had no idea that there was dinner. So next year I suggest you come. It was excellent food, right? It was amazing. Awesome. It was so good. And he gave out awards to, as part of the grant, you have to do certain amount of Native American events, and you have to have the ending events at the end of the year, and he gave out awards. Amazing feathers, and I highly suggest next year when it comes up that you go. And
No, I
It was
wanted to go. It was
just
awesome. Yeah.
amazing, and the food was amazing. Ricky's a phenomenal chef. We have the ESY coming up, which is extended school year for first sped students, not all students, helped by Chris Dunn, who's a sped teacher at HOK. She's new this year. She's gonna head it this year. And then what else do I have? Oh, and I have some cute pictures. There's preschool graduation. And then this was from the Unified Track. So up in
Do our student, no, I mean, I know our special education students go, do our do our high school kids go too? Like, can they go and help at Copper High?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like when they run the relay, you can
Yeah,
have
can
so
we
many
have-
kids run
And we
with
can have
the
our
special ed
kids run with
students.
the.
Yes. Yeah, so there were a lot of typically developing students there, just statewide, along with the special ed students. It's
That's
just
awesome.
amazing. Like if you go down the next picture, you can see one of, it was just so cute. Look at Claire holding this other student, Carly's hand, and she just went right up and just stuck her hand in his, and he just, they ate so good, and the kids cheered each other on, not only in our school, but
Sure.
statewide, all the districts. It was just really heartwarmer. And, but yeah, you take your typically developing kids to run relays or to run alongside. There were kids in wheelchairs there that had other kids pushing them in their wheelchairs. Just great. It's really, really neat. So we don't have our awards back, so I have no idea. It just got so long in the day that they will be mailing them to us and where our kids placed. It's just too hot of a day to sit there. So, but that's it. Do you have any questions?
Any questions?
That's about all.
Okay, thanks, Jill. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, Holly.
Hey. Here to the first meeting for me. So highlights, as you guys have known all year, we've had our WIG of 65% growth for both reading and math. And we surpassed, when I calculated our growth for iReady reading, we got to 69%, and in math, we made it to 73%. We did fall short in Acadians, which I'll show you in just a minute, but we did make it in iReady. Obviously our challenge is a CSI, so I'm still working through a lot of those things. I've been doing a lot of work with the teachers, just working through some of the steps of the comprehensive needs assessment, which I'll show you in a minute too. Some of our key successes, we've been working through doing some curriculum alignment as part of our CSI stuff, just to kind of get our curriculum aligned to help close some of those achievement gaps. So, go to the next one for me. If you take a look at our enrollment and attendance, our goal all year was 93%, and we came in at 92. We had really good percentages at the beginning of the year, which is typical. Then we went down to about 91, and then we've just kind of stayed at 92. So I felt like that's a pretty good goal. I will probably go into the next year with a similar goal for attendance. When we looked at our overall assessment data for end of the year, like I said, with iReady, we made it to 69%. Acadians reading, we got to 62, so we were only 3% from our goal. And then with math, like I said, with iReady, we got to 73, and Acadians math, we made it to 64. So, which that should be 1% from our goal because it was 65. I had to go in and adjust it. And then just
So that,
looking
is
at
that 60, the percentages, how many are at grade level?
how
or
many
is
have
it- is it
made
green?
growth.
Row,
Growth, it's
Okay.
not proficiency.
thanks.
Yep.
Okay.
So, and I'll show you proficiency
Oh, it
in
says
just a
that
minute,
there.
yeah. So
Figure
what
me,
we're looking at
sorry.
is these are the kids that have made typical or above typical growth. So it doesn't matter what proficiency they're at, they could be a red kid, but they've still grown. So. And then just looking at our overall closing the gap, looking at our subgroups and such. In reading, we reduced our students that were 1 or 3 grade levels behind by 28%. And then in math, we reduced our students that were 1 or 3 grade levels behind by 28% as well. So,
Is that case 6? Okay.
yep, that's case 6.
Can you give me an NPSI?
ATSI is the previous designation prior to CSI.
Right,
So
okay.
it's going off of those same subgroups because our new subgroups don't have data for you. Okay, the next one is our continued growth data. So just looking at iReady, and then looking at both reading and math and how we achieved our goals, and then looking at proficiency as well. So if you look at reading proficiency based on iReady, we went from 21% at the beginning of the year to 46% at the end of the year. So we increased by 25% in proficiency. And then in math, we went from 12% to 42%. So we increased by 30% in proficiency. And then ATF just means that annual typical growth, like I just described. So it doesn't matter where their proficiency is, it's just that growth of 1 year or greater. Okay, next one. The next one is interesting because we got some preliminary data from the iReady team. And then when I went in and recalculated it at the end of the year, because we had some classes, we had kindergarten who still needed to test, and we had some fifth graders that still needed to finish their test. And so when I went in and recalculated, that's why there's all these weird numbers. But you'll notice that in reading that our green got bigger and our red got smaller, right? So our green went from 21% to 46% actually in the end. And we went from 50% that were below down to 24%. And then in math, we went from only 12% to up to 42% in green. And we reduced our red from 41% down to 18%. Next one. So if we look at our just our subpopulation of Hispanic or Latino, which is one of our subgroups, we actually did really well, which I was pretty excited about. So if you look at the overall distribution, and then we look at whether in the yes or the no, yes meaning they are Hispanic or Latino. So we still had some that made that mid or early on grade level proficiency by spring. And if we looked at it in the fall, we had 0. So we actually grew with that particular population, which was exciting. Okay, next one. So here is the placement distribution. So same Hispanic Latino. You can see again that 16 and 11% for the yes compared to overall. So this is for math, the other one was for reading. So again, we went from, and I think in math, we only had like 2% and then we grew. So. Okay, next one. So here's our Acadians data. Like I said, we were so close. Looking at our pathways for that growth of 65%, we're looking at those that are typical, above typical, or well above typical. And so in reading, we made it to 62% that made their pathways by the end of the year and 64% in math. So we were really close. Okay, next one. Looking at proficiency now, so how many of our students were actually proficient? So from beginning of the year to end of the year, you can see our below benchmark kids went from 42% to 30% in kindergarten, you can see. And then our at or above benchmark from 58 to 70. So if you look at just the growth column, what you're going to see is the change in proficiency by each grade level. So every grade level grew except for a couple. And 6th grade is really hard to grow, just saying.
Am I
reading. It's first grade, so
So if you're looking at their below benchmark,
it's 57, and then it went to 46. That's an improvement. And more
yes,
below. There are fewer that are below,
there are fewer that are below, yes.
and
I may have got the numbers mixed up. That could be
Okay.
on me.
okay,
I put a lot of numbers in it.
okay,
I'll double check it.
okay.
Yeah.
So if I was looking at, can you just make sure I understand? If you wanted to say, all first graders,
Mhm.
what their proficient level is today. That's the 54.
54%. Yep. 54% of our first graders are
Proficient.
So in those first two columns, we want the number to go down.
down.
And then the second two, we want them to go up.
Correct.
And then you,
Yeah, I just calculated that growth so you could see the difference in efficiency. Yeah.
so I think your first grade is,
I think you must have transposed.
I must
Yeah.
have transposed them,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it was
that is
the
a,
only.
it's a, good.
All right, go down to the next one for me. So looking at math, we had growth across the board. Acadian's math only is measured in kindergarten through third grade. Kindergarten had significant growth of 30%. And then, of course, we were double digits across the board. So. Okay, next one.
And sorry,
No.
previous years, do you remember if we were hitting any of these goals like this?
Yes, so kindergarten was first, second, and third weren't quite there yet. But they had made some growth, yes.
Okay. But not
as much as this year.
Are you setting goals like this? I mean, so is the goal a 30% growth?
We're not setting proficiency goals, we're
Okay.
only setting growth goals.
Growth, okay.
Yeah, I'm
Because it
I'm a
depends-
firm believer in that, just because then we're measuring all
Sure.
kids
Yeah,
and not just our kids that can meet proficiency.
okay.
And so, I mean, because I hate to just say, okay, these are our kids that are always gonna make it.
Uh-huh.
And the ones that are always gonna be red, we still wanna show that they're growing. So that's why I'm a firm believer in growth.
And isn't your CSI and ATSI is all about growth anyway, right? It's all about growth.
All right, next one. So looking at Common Lit, so beginning of the year to end of the year, we had a 14% increase in proficiency with our Common Lit data. So that was really exciting to see. And then,
And they're the only ones that do.
yeah, we're the only ones in HMK that does comp. Can you scroll down? Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of give you a quick little overview of some of the stuff we've been working on with CSI. We've done our comprehensive needs assessment. We've gone through 4 of the 6 principles for comprehensive needs assessment. Principle 5 and 6 are actually part of the HRS work we're already doing. So we really dove into principle 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I've just given you some kind of data points that we've found with some of that. What that entailed is I had a survey that we did with all of the staff. And it was really very detailed. In fact, I would encourage all of our schools to do something of that same nature because it's very detailed. And it really gives us really interesting data for specifics in areas that we could improve in each of those things. So looking at leadership gaps, looking at instruction and teaching, organizational time, which is another one that's really critical that we found some interesting things in. And then the last one is just curriculum and looking at how we're aligning our curriculum. So that's where I spoke before with the curriculum mapping and stuff that we're doing. That was targeting some of the things that came up in our comprehensive needs assessment under principle 4.
So
So
you gave this survey to whom?
to all of my staff.
Okay.
Yeah, except for a couple, let's see, principle 2 was principle 2 I gave to everyone. Principle 3 was just teachers and principle 4 was just teachers.
But other staff would be paras.
Yeah, yeah,
Library.
because they give instruction.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was interesting. So if you want to see the nitty gritty data, I'm happy to share it with you. So, okay, next one. Taking a look at WIDA testing, and I've actually updated this because I went back through and reanalyzed it today, and because I just felt like I was missing something, and I did. So with that, we actually ended up with more students who exited. So we actually ended up with 6 4th graders that exited. And we had 2 5th graders that exited, which I got some numbers mixed up there. So we actually had a total of 8 kids that exited WIDA testing this year, which we haven't had this many before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what.
So I'm beyond thrilled with that.
And WIDA is for the non-English speakers.
Correct. Yep. And then just some other cool data that I kind of pulled together too. We actually had 21 of our students, they met the criteria for speaking. They just didn't meet the criteria to exit for composites. Because there's 2 criteria. So they met the 3.5, they just didn't get to the 4.2.
And that's reading it.
And
like,
that was the speaking.
composite
So-
is, so speaking, they did pretty well, but the rest is like reading. and
Yeah,
comprehension.
reading, yeah, there's reading and writing. And then 15 of our students met one of the 2 criteria. So 15 could have exited, right? And then 14 of them were only a 10 to 1.1 away from exiting. 15 weren't. So we were really close. We had tremendous growth this year with our MLs, which was awesome.
Did you change something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know where to
We
put
did,
that?
we changed some of our curriculum. I changed the way that we polled kids. I changed the way that we kind of grouped them in certain programs that I brought with me. So yeah, we changed a few things. So. Okay. I sure can. So we had 8 total, I think.
That's okay. The 8 totals.
Okay, we can go down to the next one for me. So just kind of listening, of course, was our strongest domain. We had an average of 4.8 for listening, and you need a 4.2 to exit as a composite. Speaking, our average was 3.1, and we need a 3.5 to exit. That's why I say we had several that made that speaking. 21 kids made the speaking criteria. And then reading was a little lower in writing, which actually makes the most sense because that is the order of the domains in which they learn them. So, okay, next one. Just looking at our operational safety updates, we did all of our drills. We did have our great shakeout drill with the earthquake drill, which they do like statewide. So we did that on April 17th. And we finished our last drill May 19th. So got all those done. Looking at personnel, we've got a few changes coming in. I know you guys will have some of these updates later, but just to kind of give you an overview, we'll have a few changes with our general ed teachers. We'll be adding some educational support professionals. And like I mentioned in our school trust line plan, we'll be adding an academic interventionist and a behavior interventionist. We will have a new librarian, Jessica Bertuzzi, who was a Title I aide, will be our new librarian next year. And then I will have 2 new ALS teachers to replace Arlie Jean and Beatrice, who are both retiring. And they're both certified teachers. One's a current 5th grade teacher, so Stacia Fisher, and then Kelly Hansen, who's a current 3rd grade teacher. So they'll be taking over ALS for us next year. So, okay, scroll down for me. And then operational and safety updates. This is just some of our PBIS data. We have a new website that one of our behavior coaches, Melissa Edge, has built, and I gave you a link there. I highly recommend taking a look at it. It's got several of the months past, and you can scroll down and see a ton of our more of our data, our PBIS data, for how many majors, how many minors, taking a look at all sorts of different things for PBIS. So I'll continue to provide that to you moving into next year. We'll just use the same platform. So.
Sorry, can I go back to your personnel?
Sure. Yeah.
So that just with the specialists, are those added positions or moved around positions?
No, they're the same.
You took
So the specialist positions were what were once called the tails, and there used to be
Oh,
4
okay.
of them.
Yep,
Right, and now I have 3 specialists instead of 4 tails,
yep.
which is what that position was that Jerry mentioned we absorbed. It was that 4th tail position
Oh, okay.
that was absorbed.
And then you have, and then 5 title,
Yeah, so
and
we'll have
3
5
math.
Title I educational support professionals and 3 math.
and then, but the current year, we have 6.
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
there,
So we'll be increasing some through our trust funds.
okay, through trust funds? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Go down to 18 for me, just some community updates. We had some pretty good parent engagement milestones that we hit. So with parent teacher conferences, I kind of mentioned this last time, our goal was 90%, we hit 90.5. We had our family literacy night, our Matilda experience, which was so much fun. We had tons of people that came and we're really excited for next year for that. Move to the next one for me. And then we also did have our Springs Art Showcase where the wild things are, which was also really fun. We had several people in attendance for that. Our 5th grade did their vendor fair this quarter, which was really neat for them to do. They sold different things and got their 5th grade currency for it. We of course had our growth assemblies that we do every quarter, which is really one of my favorite things to see kids recognized for their growth in different areas, not just necessarily academics. And then our 6th grade held their World Fair, which was awesome, where they got to represent different nations across the world. And they had all sorts of different things that they had to do as part of that project, which was really fun to see. Okay, next one. And then just looking at our school improvement plan, I am in the process of writing our school improvement plan for CSI that will be due on June 30th, which will be a accumulation of our comprehensive needs assessment and all of the other criteria that I have to meet for their rubrics. So I'm working on that and I will have it done by the end of the month. So, and then I think I have one more. Oh. Do you have any questions? That's it.
Thank you.
Any other
Yeah,
questions?
thank you. No, thank
you.
you.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. With the family literacy night, next year will be a different book or you can.
Yeah, it'll be a different book every year. Yeah. We'll choose something different each day. So, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Carrie. You are up with Margaret L. Hopkins Middle School Quarterly Board Report. No, let's go back on the agenda.
Okay, that's what you need to see, right? Hi. So yeah, it was a great quarter. I've had a lot of fun. I'm sure the staff and students did too. Can't speak for them. We did RISE testing, starting in May, beginning of May, all 3 days. We do it so that each subject gets a week with their tests. Most finished in about 3 days, but then of course we have stragglers that come in. So it is nice to get the full week. Shay, if you'll go to the next slide for me. So just showing you our enrollment trends for the whole year, and our attendance trends. We started out strong, a lot of students, and then slowly declined throughout the year. Both in attendance and enrollment, and in both grades, unfortunately. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and click through these. I was just trying to find my own notes on them so I can help summarize them, but I'm gonna have to look at these as well. Shay, I don't know if you'll be able to pull them up. I believe all of them are. You will. I'm going to change these. This tab.
Do they just take these
This year.
just at the end of the year?
Correct. So what they can do throughout the year is RISE benchmarks, which are, they use questions from previous RISE tests. The teachers at the middle school use them as pre and post tests for their units. But it also really helps the students get used to the RISE platform, gets rid of test anxiety, stuff like that. So this is our ELA, 7th grade, and we did okay. We're pretty close to the state average. And I've been able to talk with our 7th grade teacher, and we've set goals for next year on how we can raise these scores. And you can, if you scroll down on this report, you'll see specific areas on how the students did. And it's a beautiful report. And so we're going to use that first to set goals. Every teacher should.
Double click it. Oh, double click. Well, to. Become a double click it, just zooms in. Just under there. Double click that, right? Double click that. Okay, hold on. Double click it.
Have they done
There.
RISE before? I assume, do they do RISE? Like, this is not the first time we've done RISE at the middle school,
Nope, we
right?
do the RISE every year.
Yeah.
Since I've started.
Have you shown us comparisons before? I can't remember.
Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
so that's one thing that, I do have one that's compared years previous, and I, didn't think to
Okay.
add on to that.
Okay. But we've got it somewhere, I'm sure.
Correct, and I'd be happy to throw it up there real fast after Safari's going. And that's what I was just trying to think. We did drop in 7th grade science, and I believe 7th grade English, the 7th grade math went up. Our proudest moments right now is 8th grade science is above state average, and 8th grade English is above state average. And 8th grade math has gone up since last year. So in June, that's what my plan was, because I honestly thought this big report was due in June. That's when I'll have the comparisons for you for my June board report. Have the beautiful graphs, it makes sense, and everything like that. And writing, obviously it takes longer, so we won't have the writing scores for our 8th graders till October, roughly around there.
We can't get access to
Common
the
Lit. What's that?
8th grade.
So RISE, only 5th and 8th graders take the writing RISE test.
So that's not Common Lit.
No, but I
That's
do have
different.
Common Lit data
Okay.
on here.
But the 8th grade didn't have that.
Not the RISE scores, no, they
No,
take longer.
the compliment, so.
We do.
I mean, I can't get it.
Did I not make it shareable?
Yeah, it just says you do not have access to this file.
I will fix that as soon as I sit down, I'm sorry.
Which one is it?
The 8th grade.
8th grade Common Lit. And this is the first year we've done Common Lit.
Correct. And we are happy with the program and hope to purchase it next year.
And so with Common Lit, it's, can't remember what, probably just showed us in 6th grade. Was it a BOY and EOY thing?
And we did a MOY, but we actually discovered that our students had a little bit of test fatigue, so we saw our scores drop a little bit. I did not do a percent, like, okay, how much showed growth, again, prepping for June.
And you're referring to Common Lit. You did an MOY and a EOY.
We did a BOY, MOY, and EOY.
In Common Lit, okay.
So I'll have that for you,
How long does that take to do a Common Lit test?
2 or 3 days.
Is it basically they read something and comprehend it and answer questions? Is that how the test works? You read something and then you answer the questions?
We're also doing it.
3 passages the kids read. And it takes 3 days? Is it a passage a day? Is it because we only have 1 hour?
Yeah.
Like, it's not, you're not,
It's periods.
3 periods.
For
It's
3
really
periods or, okay,
Just curious, how many questions per passage?
So looking over the shoulder of the kids in 6th grade, there's 35 questions total in 6th grade for those 3
For the
passages.
3 passages?
Yeah. It's so reading intensive. There
Yeah.
is, it's, yeah, it's a lot.
And it's on multiple choice.
Yes.
There's
On
no,
the 6th grade it is, yes.
Can they go back and read the passage? I'm just
Yeah,
curious, like,
it's
so they
right-
can,
yeah, the
they
passage
can
is
read
right
it and they
there,
go, what's the
questions
question?
right
Oh, I better find
You
out
can
what.
highlight. Yeah, it's great. There's all kinds of tools.
Is anyone considering just doing EOI and COI in the middle of the year for common or what?
Actually, yes. So we looked at it now that we've gone through a whole year, and 8th grade has to take read ELA and writing rise. And because they are doing 3 common lit, it's a lot of tests. And so we are looking at it and we're like, okay, let's not do MOI common lit. So just EOI and BOI.
But the ELA rise, that's just at the end of the year.
Correct. But when we combine EOI, Common Lit, Rise, and writing, it's just the kids
Yeah.
with science and math,
Sure.
it's a lot.
But you guys like it. You guys like common lit. The teachers
Yes.
like common lit. And you guys like common lit at 6th grade?
And so I think you're good to go back to my presentation. You need to change your stream, you write text.
Is there right now, we only have, math summative, is there are you using something for math that's a DOI? DOI?
We are not, no, we did just find a tool for next year, that we're purchasing, it's called Extra Math,
Okay.
that will help us progress monitor.
Is there, when you buy a curriculum, do they not provide progress monitoring tools like that?
Carnegie Math did not, or
Okay.
one that Carnegie did not, that's the best. I wasn't there when they purchased it.
And so
Did
like at the
research.
elementary level, iReady. What's that? iReady is the curriculum, or is that just the testing?
It's just testing. We use Eureka Squared by Great Rates
And, but it does align with the iReady test.
for a.
So you have to find you kind of have to find a test that aligns with your curriculum or your testing.
It measures like in literacy, it measures all of the literacy like strands or domains, the same with math.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really like about already is that it's correlated to the RISE. So we get predictions for RISE with iReady.
This is elementary, it's just elementary, not secondary.
No, it's K-12.
iReady is, it can be K-12?
Yes.
Is iReady endorsed by the USBE, or do they say you have to use this? How do you choose to do iReady?
It's not necessarily endorsed, but I think
It's one of the ones that are acceptable, and we just, how long have we been doing iReady? For a while?
this is their second year doing it for you. The first year doing it for you.
Just not something we've looked into at the school yet.
Looking at the scores, Carrie, what's the difference between the district and the middle school? Like, I mean, is that
It's
homeschool?
just if we were to have multiple middle schools in the district, then it would list like how many students we had.
Right,
take
but
that
that's the same
test.
thing, right?
Yeah, because we only have one middle
But
school.
it doesn't include homeschool.
No,
Okay.
Would it include, ingenuity kids don't have to take these tests. Or yes. Or however we're classifying them. None of those kids have to take those tests,
we coded it so they did not.
but the same as the high school?
SCSC kids, everybody sits for a test.
Okay.
Science, just as the summative at the end of the year.
Mhm.
So they don't have a beginning or middle. Are you
No,
thinking
they do not.
about doing that as
They
well?
are actually really good at using their benchmarks, so that's what they've been using as like a pre and post test in their units.
Okay,
We've just been cycling through seventh grade teachers, so frequently we've not had a chance to talk to them about starting a curriculum or starting looking at that kind of stuff yet.
Okay, I think we can go to the next.
Jay, you want to go? Any questions about credit recovery or anything?
Oh. So these are the kids that are deficient in credits or just failing
These are the kids who failed these classes at the end of each quarter.
each quarter.
and the percentages are if they're below 55%, that's a fail.
Below 60.
Below 60% is a fail. And this is just where they land in their percentage.
Mhm.
Okay. And credit recovery, so there's extra help and there's no extra help. So does that mean if it's no extra help, they just come in and do their work by themselves?
No, so throughout the quarter, we track if they come in and ask their teachers for extra help or if they go to Beacon
Okay.
for extra help. And so if they do, then that shows that they're actually putting in an effort towards their grades and towards their classes. Which means, kids do just happen to fail sometimes. But a lot of the times at middle school, kids just don't care, is what we've discovered. And so if they're not putting in that extra effort to find out, what's
Why?
going on in their classes, they're just not caring, then that gives that they have to do the actual thing. Hey, you have to go in and do the Edgenuity course, the credit recovery course.
I think, and a couple months ago, can't remember how long ago, I think we were presented with something or question, we talked about this of like. You would give extra points or you wouldn't fail somebody that came in and asked for the help or there was some caveat of like, if they asked for help, they weren't gonna fail. I think was
Correct. They wouldn't have to do the online credit recovery program. Like
Yeah.
that showed us that they did care. They were putting in the effort to understand the subject, the quarter. That's awesome. Where kids would just be like, well, nothing's gonna happen to me. There's no consequences, there's no accountability.
I know this is like an obvious, or not obvious, whatever. Is there anyone, I mean, obviously you've got your counselors involved and teachers and all that stuff, all that stuff. But is there any opportunity or do you see this valid? To give these kids, I don't know when, I'm guessing at the end of the year, throw them a point, do something to ask and find out. Like, why? I mean, I know that's, you could track, right? Oh, this issue with this family or this or that, but to have, I mean, kids aren't always gonna just talk to you, but even if it's one of those little surveys that we develop that, they get a prize for filling it out, to see a little bit more with, like. I feel like this is the age group where they don't, like you said, they don't care,
Yeah.
but there's always gotta be something more there and. I know it's hard to reach them, but.
Just anecdotally, me sitting down with them at the beginning of the next quarter and being like, hey, you didn't pass your 4 classes. Why? What happened? What was going on? It was a lot of meetings with them. So this was the first year the middle school did credit recovery. Did Edgenuity courses if they failed the quarter. It was an experimental year. It was gonna sound dirty and weird, but it was a lot of fun. Sitting down with teachers and saying what's working, what's not, sitting down with students, asking them what's happening, what's going on, what's working, what's not. I had more students in my office this year doing check-ins more than doing behaviors. I mean, for good reasons.
Yeah.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
And so not so much as like surveys with
Yeah,
rewards
well, this is
stuff,
obviously
but
equal.
yeah, and so that was a lot of figuring it out, which then helped me build systems into next year. And helped me build, I think, better systems this year and to then make next year's system strong.
But that's, yeah, that's what I'm asking, what you can, like, are you learning?
Yes,
Obviously, are you learning, either you or therapists, teachers, whoever,
all the above.
about what's helping, what's making these kids.
Yeah.
Get them.
Yeah, in fact, Kirsten Strait and I, my counselor, are really looking forward to June, so we can sit down and type out how we're gonna be building our systems and stuff for next year.
How does credit recovery work? Do they go in and do Edgenuity, like in?
Right now it's at
designated-
home.
Yeah.
And it's an online program that I'm tracking, because it can teach them. There's no teacher working with them or anything. Next year, we're introducing Flex Period, which I'm really excited to tell you guys about next meeting. I keep saying that. But, I'm hoping to work with them more during that time, so it's not so much at home. Of course, some of it will be at home, but we'll have more time to talk to them and not have to pull them from their classes and distract them from that and stuff. So it's gonna be better next year. Again, this was our experimental year.
Yeah.
We have an idea, we're rolling with it. Yeah,
Great.
it's beautiful, it's fun.
Is Edgenuity off the quarter classes then?
I actually had to go in and build my own courses in
Yeah.
Ingenuity. It's,
Okay,
I was nerding out on it, and I gotta sit down with my teachers and be like, what'd you go over this quarter?
yeah.
And then they built it with me. It's
Oh,
It's
so
been
it's
a
not
building wide
just the,
project.
the traditional Edgenuity class.
to go
Cookie cutter.
in and, you know, break it down from the traditional
I mean,
Ingenuity.
it's hard. Edgenuity is not
Not fun,
easy.
yeah.
It's not.
Thanks, Jay. Take the next one. This hasn't changed. I just wanted to keep it up there. Just to keep us in mind of that's our goal to get out of it.
Oh, can I ask you one more question about this?
Please.
So so what if the kids didn't do it?
So there's gonna be summer school.
Okay,
And I'm hoping it for it to be 2 weeks long, 4 hours a day. I run it for, see if I have some assistance funds coming in this year to pay them to do it. So hopefully starting this Wednesday, or sorry, next Wednesday. And it'll be mostly Ingenuity course, but I'm hoping to get some hands-on project building, stuff as well, so it's not completely sucky. If they don't finish that, that's the big question. Working with Matt on that right now. So.
sorry.
It's a good question.
The next slide is our current ASTI. ATSI status. So what do the numbers mean? So it says 2022, 35.8.
That was the year were identified.
I see, okay. And we need to get to,
So, this is the year, no. Next year, we'll be eligible to exit. Is this year? And we need to get to 37.31. So we'll see when our report card comes out next year. If we need it.
and what is it a percent of? Is it a complicated formula?
Yeah,
Okay, never mind. Okay, it's not like percent proficient or something like that. It's just a very complicated.
Yeah.
Remember those graphs that you had all the percentages for different categories?
Yeah.
That's how it's calculated.
yeah, it's, I'd have to look down and then walk you through it.
But we're going in the right direction. It was what it looks like.
Correct. Yes, we're doing very good here. Very impressive for school. Next slide, Michelle. I noticed everyone put their personnel updates. Go ahead, Nishay. I did not know you guys wanted that. Nothing personnel wise has changed for next year at the middle school. We're keeping everything the same. Of course, names changed, but nothing staff wise has changed. So, no
How do you
major.
deal with that flex? This will probably be in your presentation, but if you have a flex period, does that take away from an elective or just a regular
It's
credit?
actually gonna add it. It's really cool.
But it doesn't take away from, you wouldn't not do another class. Say
Um,
you did fail a math, you didn't get, you would
No, you don't lose anything.
you would still be taking the math and the Edgenuity math of the prior. Okay,
Yeah, I can't wait to tell you. Super excited. Anyways, no major maintenance facility projects. Mike Essenson just went around and placed bleed kits in every room in the building. We're gonna do a training on it beginning of August. He also went and put around water jugs, 3.5 liter jugs in every room, just in case we're locked in a room for a while, then kids have water. Those are drills for the year. Next slide, Michelle. We're still working right now. Our HRS focus is 1.4. PLCs are going good. We just finished up our last data vertical PLCs where we meet in content. And I think we ended this year really strong in that. So stamina campaign. We just had a really fun assembly today where the kids did jump ropes against teachers for as long as they could on stamina. We could pick as many goals. Just super silly. Fun way to end the year with our stamina campaign. Michelle, I think last time. And just campus happenings, if I could talk. Southern came out. Honor Society induction ceremony, Honor Society officers, and then our 6th grade tours were super fun this year. I'm really excited for next year's kids.
Is 18 a typical honor society size?
It's small. Usually, in last year, I think we had 30.
Okay. Yeah.
But, you know, it's small, it's intricate. I think kind of gonna be better. Not that
And it's
30 is
based on, I
bad, but.
assume, because you're invited to be in the honor society based on your grade point average, is that what it is?
And then, of course, it's voluntary, so if you
But
don't
then-
want to, you don't
right.
have to. So those were the kids we wanted to. We have 2 boys, which they're great kids, but I think it's gonna be a really fun group.
who wants the president? One of the boys is the
Correct.
president.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really excited to work with them next year, and Tracy Wren does an amazing job, so. And that's it. Happy to answer any questions about the middle school. Sorry, I took a bit further than I wanted to.
Great, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. All right, high school. Sorry. I'm spinning. Why am I spinning? Oh, this-
Yeah, that must be. It's a dark hole.
Overloading me.
If we all wanted to open it at the exact same time.
It's like it's happening there. So there you go. Yeah.
So highlight was that Sophia, was who we honored tonight, was first place at Girls State Golf, and she's a freshman. So we'll go up from here, right?
Yeah.
So we got challenges with tardies in attendance, but I looked at the data in comparison to last year and the data from 2023, 24, and 25, and actually our attendance was the best this year of all of the last 4 years. But we do have programs to tackle these challenges. For tardies, if students have 5 or more tardies, they are assigned lunch detention. And then we track them down for lunch detention and give them more when they don't show up and, you know, have consequence upon consequence. And, you know, sometimes I do think they like the lunch detention because it gives them a moment to sort of rest during the day versus running somewhere and, you know. So.
I heard a rumor about.
About lunch detention. Okay, let's hear it.
Not about lunch
Oh,
detention, about being tardy, that if you walk in tardy, you get your phone taken away.
Oh, so in the last couple of weeks, it's just been like, all right, guys, like you didn't go to lunch detention and now you're tardy again, put your phone in the bucket. You know,
Okay.
so when students aren't responding to when there's no behavioral change, then we have to change the ante in order to move the behavior. And that seems to be one of the motivating factors for like, I would not be tardy after lunch. So it's
But
not
it's
incorrect.
a chronic person, a person that is chronically tardy, that might have gone through numerous steps, not
Right.
like the first.
Correct, not a first timer.
Or you, okay.
Yeah.
scared people in my house.
Okay.
Gosh.
And I think under the graduation information, there should have been a link to the exact stuff that was sent to the paper. But I don't know how, he obviously pulled my blood. Oh, there is a link. Okay. That's just, some information, so everybody had it. He did a great job of pulling that. I don't know where he got his numbers from, and the picture, we sent him the 2 and the 6. I really am not sure, so I sent him updated information and was like, hey, I know you have a week to correct it, and so I haven't seen this week's paper yet. But hopefully he did correct
What's
it.
it, like, somebody told me that they said there were 40 kids graduating, and I was like, so that's what she had read. And
Well, I think what he did is he had the 2 and the 6, and they're supposed to go together, right? He only printed the 6. Like the kids
and the
making the 2 and the 6 is, they make the number 26 the year they graduate.
Yeah.
So I think they counted the number of kids in the 6. I was like,
Okay.
oh, there's 40
kids,
I-
okay.
I don't know where he
Okay.
got the number from. 'Cause he
Yeah.
it doesn't say the numbers in here, because we actually didn't know till today for sure that we have 111 that are actually graduating, 104 who are walking, but 111 who are graduating. So I never put out any numbers. I don't know where he got, I think
Okay.
literally he counted the kids
Okay.
in the 6. And
And
so
so
I just,
those kids are the same kids, like you'll use the same kids on the 2 and the
The
6. Just so, I mean, there are many different ways.
correct.
That's a bad way to.
So I said to the 2
I
and the
freaked out.
6. And
Just
I
so you
was-
know, I freaked out of my house, like.
Yeah.
42.
What?
No. So anyway, I did give him some more information to correct it. We'll see what he gets. This week's paper. Oh, it's right now.
It's like.
Oh. So our overall attendance rate is 89.75, which is 1 point higher than our overall attendance rate for last year, which is higher than the year before, which is higher than the year before. And so I think generally our trends are moving up. There's some question from the staff because they'll be like, I have 18 students in my class and on any given day, I only have 10 there. What's the deal? How can our attendance rate be so high? But I think the conflict there is of those 10 students who are missing or whatever, 8 students who are missing, 5 of them are on activity leave, right? Like track alone this year was 62 kids. And so if track was out and softball was out and baseball was out and tennis was out and golf was out, that's a quarter of the student population that is out that day.
But they're not counted as.
That's the thing, is they're not counted against the attendance rate, but the teachers see, I have
They
18
feel
kids in
it.
my class and I only have 8 kids here.
Okay.
What is I don't have 90% attendance, And so there's, we've worked, Colton has worked hard on ensuring that this number is accurate. He believes 100%, and we cross-reference several reports that this number is accurate. But I think what the teachers see, is they see this attendance and it's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
But if it's anything activity excused, it doesn't count against our attendance rate because we're still serving them. Just as different message. And then our enrollment is right now 464.
Where do the 3 kids come from 12th grade who are graduating, like the?
You got extra.
You said there was 111.
Yeah, so the 108 is the enrollment right at this moment as of May 19th. So several of them graduated third quarter or second quarter. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next slide. This is our, no. Slow down. Oh, okay. So this is our Utah Aspire Plus percent proficient testing data. So we don't have growth yet, but this is just overall raw numbers for percent proficient. And if you look at 2024 column, 18% of the students in Math 9 were proficient last year. 2024, sorry. In Math 10, 9% were proficient. So that was a drop, right? We don't have an ACT relative comparison to know what Math 11 students did or Math 3 students. But as we get more data, we can put it in. But if you look at the 2025 proficiency for Math 9, Then you look at the 2025 proficiency, sorry, the 2026 proficiency for Math 10, that's the same cohort of students. It's highlighted pink. There was an increase. And if you look at the percent proficiency in Math 10 last year, it was 9%, and now it's 26%. And so I think that some of the measures that the math department is taking are helping students to do better.
So, but below this current juniors.
So all that's telling you is that the 9th to 10th grade, so the current juniors right now in math, they dropped 9% from 9th grade to 10th, the 2024 to 2025.
Oh, I see.
And that's this year's juniors.
So they dropped between 9th and 10th.
Correct.
Yeah.
Down here.
There you go. I'll have a little pointer. Yeah.
So the cohorts.
And you can see that, you know, reading English language arts is very proud to present their all of their results to you, and we'll do that in June. But you can see that the reading for reading 10, 55% proficient, up from 34 when they were in 9th grade. And it's not the same cohort, but the 9th graders the year before were only at 13%. So English language arts just very excited about the work that they're doing. They came into the year like, we're going to be data centric. We're going to use this data to improve our instruction, and they did it.
That's your really simple question. When you get like the 55%, so. If you were to break that down, that's students with disabilities, kids with different languages, this is overall, all
Yeah.
of them thrown into the pot. right?
Yeah, everyone. The only the ones that don't test this particular test are those who are DLF.
So these are all wrong, these numbers. Like this is 4%. And this is like 21%.
I did see that when, so I'll have to look at my math. My math's not mathing. I saw that as I was looking at it, and I was like, I can't change it now, so. I have a feeling what happened is as other schools' test scores came in, no, I don't know. I don't know why my math's not math, but I'll work on that better for next time.
That's only the P,
Because
right?
20.
It's just the 34 to 55.
Would be reading 10 and 20.
What's 4% from
17 to 22 is 5%, not 6. Oh,
for math?
no, for
You go from 9 to 10, that's 4. And then for reading,
34 to 55 is 21.
21,
right,
and science
It's
is
4.
4.
correct.
It's only that column that's wrong. The other column's right.
I screwed up. I bet what happened, no, I bet what happened is as I was checking the percent proficient or what, I don't know. I'm not sure what happened. I can't math today. Or when I was trying to do this. So other questions? We're trending in the right direction all around.
But at least from 24 to 26, proficiency has gone up across the board. I mean, they might not be the same cohort, but they're
Correct.
definitely,
Correct.
As long as
the proficiency is
It's gone up.
increasing.
Yeah.
and the participation is good.
Significantly increased.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we went from 73% in 2024 to 85% in 2025 to 92% in 2026. So everything's trending up. And English language arts, that they got rid of that test for Aspire. And so it was in 2024, but was not given in 2025 or 26. It was mixed with reading. So it's just the one reading score, which is why we don't have scores for ELA for 2025 and 26.
Are you able to track why participation is higher? Like what you guys did, what happened, so
Yeah.
that you.
Yeah. We know
That's
know
all I-
why.
Yeah.
2024 was so low. I think also a big thing is that the teachers have all said, like, we never took testing seriously. We never had the kids to take testing seriously. We never knew what it applied to. Like, it's just a difference in leadership and philosophy. And like, this is what testing means to us. And it's not just, this, we have a lot of teachers at a high school who sort of have a philosophy like testing is evil or something. And we had to combat that philosophy where no testing is useful, but I think our years of maps and like, do we have to do it? At the high school, it was really a very much, if you want to, you can, if you don't want to, don't worry about it, so we're fighting a culture, but not fighting, they're on board now, right? They're ready to take those scores from there only higher.
Is Common Lit at the high school?
Yes, and so I do have that data, but I did not have it before I handed this report to them. So we'll include that plus all of our other exciting updates in June. Yeah. And maybe we
When
can
do you get your ACT scores?
we did, but ACT pulled them back.
Yeah, but now they're back.
So I haven't gotten the printed scores back
Okay.
yet. Yeah, but as soon as I do, the students will
Why
get
did
their
they pull
scores.
them back?
They
there a
didn't
mistake?
feel that they tracked math and I can't,
The ACT.
Math for
company?
sure.
yeah. The ACT company didn't feel that they tracked math for everybody who took it during that testing period appropriately. And so they wanted a chance to reevaluate everybody's score and then send out the new scores.
I mean, your score wouldn't drop, but it would
It could
possibly
go
go
up.
up.
Possibly go up.
So the kids have seen it.
Yeah, it came out.
If they
Couple
can,
days
can
ago.
they access it? They can now? Okay. Okay, so we'll have more on ACT. And then AP won't come out until July 6th. Next slide. The other slides are, spring is always busy at the high school. We had popsicles for seatbelts, which the sheriff's office came and gave out popsicles, checked kids if they had their seatbelts on. And then we completed one drill per month since August, and all drills are called hot washed, which means we send out a note to all of the staff saying what went well or what didn't go well, and we're like, doors were not locked or doors were not closed or, whatever. And so all of the drills are hot washed so that we can collect that information and do better in the next 7 days. And so we had our last drill on May 4th, I think. So we're done with our drills for the year.
Just in time.
Exactly. And then the next couple slides are just, I guess, will it go down or
Oh,
no?
we should have, oh, she wasn't in town. Maddie got track and field head girls 2A coach
Yeah.
of the year,
Yeah,
but she wasn't in town.
she's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we can.
Maybe we can invite
acknowledge
her.
in June.
June,
Okay.
if she, I'm sure, they'll be running, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
they're not.
So we're working on our HRS level 1 implementation module Moodle. And then the PLC process for the school year went really well. There are several departments who are really doing well on tracking their data so that they can improve. And yeah, any questions about that?
I thought the math department was going to present.
We haven't had that conversation. Okay.
Okay. And then in the extracurricular and community pages, there's just the students of the month. Couldn't be here, but they're adorable. Boys made it to state. Unified track made it to state. Softball made it to state. Softball had a really good first day and then a really heartbreaking second day.
But they came in third?
They came in third overall, which is not bad.
No?
Yeah, especially for a first-year coach. Yeah.
And a team with one senior.
And a team with one senior. Yeah.
With the young people.
So we're hoping to build that program.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then next slide. That's track and field at state. And then the next slide is just softball. And I think that's it, right? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, back to the agenda. Board committee reports.
All right, I have second.
Okay.
Get mine up in here. I'll start with Great Coalition Prevention.
we're kind of in a in-between spot with our group right now, trying to figure out some directions. I mean, we have our direction of our prevention group, but as far as specifics about meeting and what direction we want to go, I was in charge of taking notes last session, so I have tons and tons of notes, but I'm gonna just point out something that I thought was really interesting that maybe one day could affect the board directly, you know. We talked, one of the things that there's some frustrations with, when we have targeted information for kids and getting it to them. Right now, most of the information that the Great Coalition does is like tabling, things like this, but if we have concerns such as smoking with seventh graders, you know, when you're looking at all the sharps data and all that, like, what are we doing about that? That kind of thing. So I know that Jen and I have brought up and just asking the group, hey, do they do campaigns like signs in the schools, and what about stuff like that? It worked for us when we were younger, but if they're seeing it every time they go to the bathroom, I don't know. So we've talked about some of that. So anyway, there's some discussion. So there's some things coming down the pipe we're gonna try to figure out with that group about, there's just like there's like a disconnect. You know, we have this
A
prevention
disconnect
program.
from the school.
Yes, from, no, well, not even schools, from the kids, from the children.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, prevention, like we have the sharps data, we have these issues, but how is it trickling down? Exactly. So we're struggling. Yeah, like, okay, you know, we're struggling.
My students are kind of passive here, like,
Yeah.
I agree, it is.
So,
like,
yeah, so anyway, that's just something we're in the works of
but
trying to figure out.
it's a community
Yeah,
run
yes.
organization. This has always been
No,
my,
And it's not
not
like it's up to
critique.
the schools, but in
no,
general,
well,
you know,
we have a committee.
Yeah.
How does it merge with
Exactly.
the school? Why have a meeting if why have a committee if the school isn't
yes.
working together?
So that's what,
Yeah.
and Jenna and I are, we attend the
We're
most
action
meetings together.
Yeah.
We're like, we're action, we want,
Yeah.
you know, so we're like, okay, we've been meeting for a year, enough. Give us the guts, let's do something.
Most frustrating.
So anyway,
committee.
yeah, so anyway, that's,
Yeah.
I think you got Jen and I are good people to be on that group.
No.
All right, next, clinical safety. Oh my gosh, so much going on there. But just a quick little thing, the last session, we've been going through all the steps of, in a crucial situation. So we were doing active shooter. We're going through, just looking over steps, finding gaps. One of the things that Libby and the police officers, we discuss any gaps we have, everything from a door not being locked at the last, drill to, we need this, and that. There was something that did come up, that I know that I said, and I mentioned this, I think, to you, that I think it needs to be carried into a policy. I think the board needs to create a policy this summer on, what to do. And this is, we gotta be realistic. If there is there a death in the school because of something like this, or many, about what that's gonna look like, when you have grieving children, you have grieving families, you wanna have memorials, you wanna have all these things. So one of the things that was discussed was, okay, well, you've got to respect the Native American, they have the way they grieve, and you have all these different things, and that's when I stepped in and said, we need a policy that says we cannot do any of those things, because you can't. And I think we talked, these guys were many. So, and to take it off the plates of the principals and everybody, so and so we can talk about that later, but it's like, yeah, we gotta do this now, or whatever, and then we know there was a memorial proposal for something that was different last year, so.
We're on it.
Yep. Yep, so that's one of the big things that came out, there's so much in those meetings, so. And then I went to maturation, for Kathy, and I went last year, and so I went again, and I really enjoyed it. It's very good. There might be some possible changes coming up next year. We're gonna be
With
possibly-
legislation or just our?
no,
changes?
with us, with the possibility in this discussion, something we're gonna talk about, working with fourth grade more. Karen, can you help me with that? Like what we were talking about, the possibility of the fourth graders we said in the maturation about, we might want to entertain the idea of working with the fourth, having the fourth grade go through.
Oh,
What-
so,
what am I
Nurse
saying?
Mary was mentioning the studies were showing that the students are going
Yeah.
through puberty sooner
At age 9.
at age 9. And so introducing it, maturation sooner
Yeah.
to students. And I was like, I'm not the person to make that
Yeah.
call. We need to include,
Of course.
admin down at HBA to discuss that.
So maybe this is gonna be a discussion piece possible.
And so what it was decided at, not to speak over you, sorry,
No,
at our,
please, yeah.
maturation committee was that we need to have another meeting in the fall. More like early August to discuss that, with Holly present,
Mhm.
that is on me, as I did invite other admin. So to the maturation committee, but I get for forgetting about maturation.
So that's just something that we'll want to talk about more. And then also, we also talked about another possible change. Again, these are just things we're throwing out there, about, when working with again, the elementary kids, making sure the boys' presentation is also given to the girls, right? And the girls' presentation is also given to the boys. Separately,
Is
but
that done now?
no.
There's
Rules about that.
But I should, but, yeah. I'm not, yeah,
Yes.
but within I mean, not going over that, but looking at that. I think you need to look at it really close.
Yes.
We will. These are just
just things
because
we
that
were-
happens in a committee. doesn't
Yeah,
mean-
this is stuff that we were just
Well,
like,
yeah.
they came out, that like, hey, can we do this? So I'm just reporting it because it's something that, yeah, okay. That was the gist of that.
Yeah, hope, and when that kind of stuff happens, you know, that conversation, then the admin would then bring it to
Sure.
probably the admin, meeting with Matt, he would flush it out and then push it up to us,
Yeah.
so like,
The only
Yeah.
reason I'm sharing it is just because
Yeah.
I was a board member and I thought all these ideas sounded
yeah,
really fantastic. And it's just something that we can talk about, think about, explore, deny, whatever.
perfect. Jenna?
Have we?
Yeah, no, finance, I don't know, you'll probably talk about like the lunch stuff, like the school lunch, letters and stuff like that. We had talked about that in finance meeting. You showed us that at our last
I
time.
think you guys sent out school.
I think that that there was a letter out to, parents for just,
When did that go out? Was there a threshold? Was it $6? Couldn't check out today without $6, so. Sorry.
And what about school? Was there a letter for school fees?
We've done, those are done. The school fees in 3 years.
So they can't check out without, they have to get it signed and paid, so fees to check out
You mean,
of high
it's
school.
not just the 12th grade stuff?
No,
Oh, is that-
my 10th grader and my 11th grader had to check out and pay. They called me, you need to pay for this.
You?
Mine called me today. too.
Yeah,
I
me.
didn't get it, your penny.
Maybe they didn't check out.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next step is. If they don't check out, what are the consequences if they don't check out? You probably get a letter.
They didn't check out.
Well, then they were home early. That's-
Yeah, they didn't go to field day.
I know.
Yeah,
Shoot.
yeah. I thought I paid up. They are still, just so you know, I don't know, we're still somehow connected to bad addresses in Tiffany's computer.
Yes, okay. I'll got to Tiffany call.
I got a check
Huh?
for a refund of Honor Society
Oh,
for the
okay.
fees, right? Went to an address that I don't even live at. I don't know if it's going to my emergency contact address or something else, but luckily she
Well, thank
lives
you.
there. Dave gave it to me.
Very nice.
But I said something before and there was a reason, but it didn't get fixed. So I don't know what it is. So and I find it, I mean, I've been at my address for 10 years, so I don't know what's going on. You move around. Anything else on audit? Did you have, remember there were a couple questions about,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna wait till communications.
was there a question
Or
about,
PA.
was it audit committee or?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Negotiations met, we did not, come to an agreement, so we're still working on that. Let's say about that.
Facilities, Matt, we talked
Yeah, I
about,
was gonna say, what did we talk about?
we talked about transportation, we also talked about the Sunwall.
Yeah, we did.
We toured the TSAC as a board. To look at that, pretty much it, with facilities.
So to clarify.
We talked with our county, we talked with the county about Sunwall.
Right.
Are you currently in negotiations with them?
No,
No.
It was just a visit.
no, just a,
So what are we doing with the preschool building?
Yeah,
Just an
I
inquiry.
mean, I had that question when they were.
Yeah,
Mostly because they want to do their thing, so.
they've got a master plan of their block, but
so we're just monitoring that.
Okay.
we need to figure
But
out.
what's our plan? Like, yeah, how do
We don't,
we?
I mean, honestly, yes.
I think we need to get the preschool out of it, and then I think once
Then we can.
we can,
discuss.
facilities will
Okay.
probably either have a recommendation
Yes,
to remodel, to sell, to what we can do with it.
Yeah.
But then we can have that discussion at work session or a board, work session, and just bounce ideas.
Mhm. Yeah.
But
And I think what's driving the county is not necessarily this project's gonna happen in the next 10 years, who knows? When they have the money, but they might have the money to procure particular properties. Quicker. But that's their
But there's,
problem.
yeah.
And nothing to do with us, but I mean, that's just what's driving them asking.
Yeah.
to me, it's a very political question.
Yeah.
With the, yeah.
Don't look at me, I'm no
I'm-
politician.
Not for us as much as for them as well.
It
right?
is for them.
Uh,
There's wants and then there's reality, but anyway.
and then there's elections. Business administrator report.
Finished up on I've got a couple of follow-up things from the Scott, with school fees that we need to make a couple of, changes to our policy. Told him I'd work on those. School lunch, the child nutrition, we're waiting to hear back from the state. Everything's been submitted for almost 6 weeks, 8 weeks now. The ball's in their court. We did start sending out, lunch, balance letters, this last month. We actually had a fairly good response. Rather that's been staff or students and parents. So, encouraging to continue that as we move into the next year. Had a couple of meetings with IT on just some summer projects and cleanup, but other than that.
What about, I had asked about the school lunch, I mean, in the summer.
So here's what I know about school lunch in the summer. The state has decided, and I don't remember the name of the charter school, Cadian's charter school or something, can't remember.
The new one?
Yeah, whatever. There's like 5 rural districts in the state that they are trying a new summer lunch program on.
The Acadians charter system.
Yes,
I
and
see.
so they're coming into the community once a week at our local charter school and giving you a box of food. And
For any child.
there's a QR code you have to scan and there are rules of how you can get food and who can get food and how all of that works. So I'll be interested to see how that works by the end of the summer.
So last year, it seemed like there were a couple different locations, I mean,
Yeah,
that was all
but
the state.
We
doing
were in
that?
charge of running it last year.
Okay,
This year, this year,
did you, was that a decision?
It's a state decision.
that's a state
Oh,
decision.
okay.
It's not a us
Okay.
decision. There's five districts that they're trying to, they're all in rural.
Once a week, you get a box
Once
of
a week.
food.
on maybe a big box of food, not just like, here's your lunch. This is like, you take this home for the.
Well, when we run the summer lunch program, we give you a lunch and breakfast the next day,
Yeah,
and on the
but we did
weekend,
that
we
every
give
day.
you every day, so that it's fresh.
Yeah.
So I'll
Because
be
we'll find
interested
out.
to see how this goes.
More proud of us. Other schools, it's taken away from us. Just another thing.
My turn?
Yes.
Okay, so we are anxiously trying to finish up one construction project and start another. We also have final guidance on ballistic and security film, so I'm looking to figure out where we go with that. If you remember, a couple of years ago, we got on the list, but kind of got out in front of it. And then our vendor couldn't make requirements, so trying to untangle that mess. Also meeting with directors, talk about expectations and roles, and developing plans that we're going to execute. Trying to wrap up the end of the school year and already planning for the beginning of next school year. Monitoring of recruiting and retention, and trying to decipher what all the new legislation and rules mean as we go. So it's going to be an exciting summer. And then finalizing our agenda and program for our board retreat coming up on June 30th. I'm sure there's a bunch of other stuff, but that's off the top of my head. And we do gotta hurry through this meeting so that we can make the next ceremony.
That's start.
Still second.
Okay, next is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda is regular board meeting minutes, April 15th, April 29th, and May 13th. Personnel list for the licensed and classified, the financial reports for April, detailed check register, expenditure report, and revenue report, and out-of-state travel for Skills USA, FCCLA, and girls and boys basketball. I'll accept a motion to approve the consent.
I would move we approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Dave Bershon makes a motion, Lily Green seconds to approve the consent agenda in discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes 5-0. Future Student Success Act, the board has reviewed the school year 26-27 TSSA plan and now has the opportunity to approve the plan. There a motion to approve the school year 26-27 TSSA plan.
I made the motion to approve. Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Kathy Williams seconds to approve the school year 26-27 TSSA plan. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
That passes 5-0. Communications? Sorry, Orly.
I can't, I'm sure there was something. I can't think of it.
Jenna?
Love the world's going to be. It's good work.
Kathy? Dave?
Even though I want this meeting to get over, yes, I do appreciate that we have Thierry and Superintendent and Melissa at our barbecues. So far, we got another one in the morning. I think everybody's gonna be busy with practice and graduation, so we probably won't have them. I'm hoping to draw some of the school district personnel and school board into Rotary. I think, you know, it's eye-opening for them to see what all goes on. And if we get done with this meeting, then we're gonna present a couple of scholarships tonight, Rotary is. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but.
Are you still president?
Forever. Yeah, I was,
It's
I am a king. Yeah, well, they may not have them anywhere else, but somehow they made me the king. Yeah. Yes, I'm hoping that after, well, I guess Friday, we have another thing and then we'll be through with the week. It's been a busy.
Okay. On a personal note, I just want to thank everybody who voted for Chloe
Good.
On
How did it
Facebook.
go?
They haven't named it yet, but, and it's a 25% is vote on just votes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she got the most votes, so our community is amazing, and she got like 200 and something votes, which is really cool, because that means, like, I mean, that took some time to do, so appreciate.
Could you like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry, Region 18 had a thing on, I don't know, Region 18 has this Facebook page of, I'm not really even sure who they are, but they nominated most valuable players from different, from all the schools in our region, and she was nominated, but you got to vote.
Only on Facebook.
Only on, well, I might have been on
Same place I saw
Instagram,
it.
I don't
You
know.
gotta send that stuff.
I didn't look, I wasn't that, I saw on Facebook.
Okay, anyway. So we don't know because there's some other criteria.
There is other criteria, but she has the stats to do it, but that was on a personal note. But I also want to say, Stephanie Clough did a great job with softball. She took the team back to a tournament, which is Swing for Life, with who Kathy Hallett and Kendra Tomsick. If you know Kendra, she was the softball coach for us forever. And then, but they do this breast cancer awareness tournament, and they raise, I mean, they've raised a million, but and it all goes to Huntsman. So it's a really cool tournament that we're kind of getting back in the cycle, and I think it just teaches girls about breast cancer awareness, which it's a thing that they need to be focusing on. So I'm glad Stephanie's a really great coach that is, it's not just about the field, it's also
It's about
about
leader.
things that you're, you know, that affects women. So shout out to her and the team for doing that there. And raising money. Okay, advanced planning. Did we get the brown calendar? No,
I made mine brown and still didn't show up. It's there. It just changed the color of my stuff.
Okay.
It didn't make anything.
did you get it?
You all.
Know how I own it, but okay.
We'll do it after.
Okay, I might send you out invite of the Google Calendar that's specific to the board, so.
Yes, specifically site visits that we never get.
Yeah, I don't know, I'm not
They're
changing,
online.
I'm not changing.
Some people get them, some people don't. I know.
Regular
Always
board
late.
meeting, oh, that's today, senior awards night, tonight, 7:00.
Yep.
That's at the high
Yep,
school.
yep.
Kindergarten graduation, tomorrow, 8:30.
Yep.
That's by the big tree.
By the picture.
Sixth grade graduation, 10:30.
I'll get that, and then I'll miss high school, practice.
That'll, that's, just, can you come after?
Yes, I'll come straight.
I'm sure we'll still be second. Rotary cookout right after that. At Swanee, 8th grade graduation, 1 p.m. That is Thursday. For some reason, I thought it was Friday, but
Yeah, you panicked me for a second.
I thought I saw somewhere it said Friday, and I thought that was good. That could have been a dream. High school graduation, 8 o'clock. That's high school.
What time do we,
8 o'clock.
do we have parking?
7:59.
Do we have Rockstar parking?
I don't know.
Apparently we do.
Yeah.
I can't
What?
remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
We have park.
that's just
We have
that.
parking.
Rockstar parking. 30
Somebody tell me
seconds.
where it is.
You know that.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
That night. Oh, okay. Am I gonna be the only one, you and I are gonna be the only one that, practice? I will not be at practice.
Oh.
It's just gonna be me. at
You are the
practice.
king.
And that-
I feel like I've done it a lot, so I know what to do. I have to.
Okay,
I will get there soon.
I will, Matt might have to hand out some diplomas for fun. Because if I need a break.
Thank you.
In practice or in?
In practice.
Yeah,
No, practice.
I don't remember
I mean,
practice.
I feel like.
Okay,
No, you don't have to practice. I
Yeah.
just, somebody's gotta be there.
Yeah.
They have, I mean, I guess they don't. Let's see, end of year awards. That is Friday
yeah,
at 8:30 at the middle school.
right.
I will not be.
What?
And I we have a softball tournament.
I knew you were gonna be gone. How did I know that?
I said something.
Did you?
And you
Okay.
guys
I just thought maybe that ESPN, I had something.
They can handle it.
I'm looking.
Kathy does I always have her.
I have to, I will say something.
She's
I
the
will say
speech
something.
designator. That's,
It's fine.
I'll run the meetings, but I don't want them to speak to.
Okay.
District PD day,
That's Friday.
Friday, 10:30 to 3:30. That's nothing. That's not
correct.
agenda planning is on the 3rd. And that's at 11. And the retreat is
30th.
June 30th. All day, 7:30? Why do I have it at 7:30?
It is,
Because that's what we said.
It's gonna be a beautiful morning.
Is that at USU?
Yes.
Yes, it is. You know, she called.
It's 7:30 or 3:30.
We can roll in at 7:30. Policy committee, we're starting hit hard in June.
Good job.
JLC pre-delegate assembly is on the 5th and 6th, and that is Daphne,
I am going to that.
and you're a delegate.
I am a delegate.
And then we will have, probably they'll remind us that we have one that's voting though. And
So I think that I looked at the list today, so I and, I can't remember who it is, I think somebody from Embry or Price is the other delegate.
yeah,
And then there's some alternates, but none of Grand County are alternates.
we have a vote. Oh,
But we
A
also
board
have an
vote.
additional vote, like. every
There's-
board. So that,
Every board
Yeah.
has a vote, and
And
then you get the
The
delegate.
delegate gets a vote. And it did say everybody's welcome. I mean, as many
Yeah.
people that want to go can go. It's just as far as voting, but anybody can go, so it's not
Yeah,
restricted.
and I think you two both.
We
went.
did, but yeah, I had enough of that. It's a good steak though. Best steak I ever had. By Philly.
so we need to designate me as the board representative. For vote.
Not necessary, not as an
Okay.
action or anything, but we're,
I-
yes, we're
Not an
done.
ag, but to them. You know,
Not really.
you know, okay,
No, if you show up,
then no.
they'll know, they know who you are. Or they'll email me and I'll just say, yeah, Jenna's headed your way.
Did you put some on
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
going to.
Okay.
It's on my list.
That's-
You move things around, hold on. Finance
Sorry.
committee,
Put them in order.
June 10th. Did I miss anything? June 10th, 2 p.m. Board work session, the 10th. Clinical safety, the 11th.
There is.
And board meeting on the 17th.
We moved it to the 24th.
We moved it to the 24th.
And there is no coalition on the 9th. I don't know if that's up there. We canceled that.
Okay, any other?
I know.
things?
Just to one up you guys, I am gonna attempt either at one of the Mondays in June or possibly July, have the board come and be the presentation to Rotary. Introduce the board, introduce Rotary, and I think it'll be good for both parties, but I'll let you know. I don't.
We might have to post that if we all.
Yeah, we go first and third Mondays, but I don't have any, right now I don't.
Okay.
Anyway, just a little.
Okay. Any other things?
You said the 24th of board meeting.
Yes.
It's changed now. It's in the Brown schedule.
I'll put it in the brown, it's on the browns. All right, executive session. Yes, I do have some things too.
And then we put,
Okay, we'll try, it's 6:19, so, let's reset for 5 minutes and then come back. I'll accept a motion, or let's see, a motion
I'll
to
move
reset.
to recess.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Dave Gershai makes a motion, Laura Lee Green seconds to recess, with recess at 6:19.
I mean, this is just for my own knowledge. Does everybody that goes to the national convention get one of these?
I will collect
them
them tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't even hear it. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
I would really like to do it, but I really like that. It'll be like, you know. Have some. Yes, to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Really good. You have to be, there'd be something for them to kind of. Educate other districts.
Anyway, but I like, when I get back, like, I am with you, but I'm trying to up my running. And so.
And it was like,
I'm sure. I don't have those.
Yeah.
Because I.
Oh, yeah.
Great, like.
Yeah. Well,
That's why I mean, that.
Control.
Oh, good job. Yeah. I do not even like.
You can staff. Kids. It'd be a big, I hope it's a big.
Yeah. They don't have the influence and how to improve out. It's, I don't know, maybe one day we can find a way about my body. Cause I know what I got wrong. Yeah. I do, and I did. They don't know that, but I just want and then.
He helped me with those. He does that, he does baseball, and he does some.
No.
He's in that guy. They're secondary. They're very, he's very understanding of how things work. And I'm just going, you know, I'm battling along and then he comes right out. And he tells me this. But I really talked to Melissa about it before, but I really wanna see if we. Let's go on Hampshire, or they show 5 minutes. I want somebody that's.
Should I keep recording? Should I keep recording?
Has time.
I can just close out.
And wants to put.